Microphone a bit closer. Okay. There we go. Bit more overview. Just doing this as a startup before I go mass painting. And I see that things have separated. This is not white paint. This is white wall filler with white paint to make it a bit more spreadable. Because I want to finish these and start painting them. Kind of like creating your own textured paint. It's quite warm here. So if needed, I'll put on a little ventilator, but right now I can still manage. We'll try to stream for about an hour and then restart it for another stream, just to have a little bit more stock. For those who wonder what the heck I'm doing right now, I'm filling holes to see if this works. This is all melted scrap PLA, so I want to reuse it. This one had a lot of holes, probably put it too hot and was too impatient, so this is just my first try. Probably gonna have to make my mix, my blend a little bit thicker. Audio test. Yep. Still don't have the greatest setup. Maybe one day we'll try and fix it. Not right now, not right now. Because I still have projects that need to be painted. Need to clean up here. There we go. Oh, the feet. I have some big projects I want to work on, and I need my craft table for that, and that's currently very full, so that's something I need to clean up as well. There we go. Downside of this wall folder is that it keeps on drying in the tube, making it very heavy to get it out. Sneeze coming up. Yeah. Getting somewhere. When you get to the fresh bit, it's a lot easier to squeeze out, but it's tough. I know it's supposed to be tough, I mean wall filler. Just making this paint a bit thicker. But it's such dry stuff. One more time. No, I'm not using my machine for this, because this is much heavier stuff than just paint. Hopefully that will help me remember what kind of paint it is. Okay, so I'm going to take these outside to dry in the sun. Shade sun. So now we're gonna do some mask painting. These are the ones that have priority alongside these. These had skin tones done. So that's pretty much my goal today. Paint all of these. These need more for the skin tone, so let's start with that. And then I can put them outside to dry. No, this is not the skin tone I made. Right. This is the skin tone I made. A lot of water in there. So let's... Well, it's a bit too... Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Well, his shirt was cracked anyway, so needed to repaint that. This never happened before. Oh well. I mean, I can cry about it, but that's not gonna help. Good thing I wore my apron. Well, his arm needs to be redone anyway. Just didn't expect it to be redone this way. Let's first grab some paint from here. Again, don't like it, but you know, I can't really undo it. Get rid of the bubbles. This is a very bubbly paint. I'm using a little flame to get rid of all the bubbles. Never had paint explode on me before. Or at least not in this intensity. I do need to give them a second black layer, but for the hair, but first the skin. This is not promising a lot for today. Does need an extra coat of pink. There's still space on the tray before I put it outside. So let's first get Squirtle out. Right, that needed to be black. And if you're watching this live or later on YouTube, welcome, hello, I appreciate you. This is different paint, so it has different kind of bubbles and different effects when you pop the bubble. Okay, you can go on the drying plate. Then let's do this complicated one. Turns out that this paint is very nasty because it often dries up as a little layer instead of paint. And then you can peel it right off. And this little piece needs to be purple as well. Seems I missed a bit of silver, which is fine. I mean, I see it now, so plenty of time to correct it. Okay, so this was a piece of 3D print filament. Thought it was gesso buildup. On the other hand, this is very nice paint. Just almost monocoat. Same brand. Just unlucky, I guess. Another red. Was that this one? Yep. Now I have to be careful not to splash all over. Because this one's almost finished, so let's not finicky it up. Wanted to say something else, but let's not say that. There we go, that's nice. Space for one narrow one. So let's go for that vest. It is a blend, it is a mix, but where did I put it? I think it was this one. Yeah. Nice jeans color. I have a week off in 2 weeks, and then I'll try to do one stream day again. And hopefully finish most of my 3D prints for the coming year. This one is a bit thick on, but this dries very flat. Get a good mark on top. And something went wrong. Oh wait, this is one of those old prints where I tried to experiment with a thin. That's barely going right. Not sure if this is the right paint, but it's okay. I experimented with thinner printing in the early days and it just didn't turn out nice. So, seems like I forgot the whole part of his shoe. So I use a bit thicker paint in the hopes of leveling it a bit more. And I'm giving him a brown belt as well. Not sure what to give his shirt, what kind of color. I think it's just going to be white because there's a lot of other colors already. Okay. So I'm gonna take these outside to dry. So I'll be right back. This is the next drying tray. Okay, so first let's continue F because her colors are clear. Why do I have this here? The medium. That's lighter. Should be this one. Yep, it's this one. I could number my paints and then write down the numbers or something like that, but yeah. I think I only had it happen once or twice where I accidentally used the wrong color. I'm still very confident in my own painting skills. And this paint is mixed with a bit of a textured paint. Not my favorite kind, but it works for this. And I'm gonna make her dress yellow. Already expected a blob coming out. There's an air bubble underneath here. And I can slap this on pretty thick because this dries really flat. But you usually need 2 or 3 coats for that. I always try to keep bottles and lids clean, but you know, it never works. Do this like her face has so many crackled paint in it. And I don't really recall which paint her face had. I think this one is closest. Hopefully this helps a bit with the cracked look. I mean, she's old, but she takes good care of herself. Let's take the silver part as well. Still need L'Oreal for this. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna do. So I still have a little bit of time to think about that. This one can be silver as well. Black paint down. Let's see. Do I have it? I do have a darker green. It's not the right green. I do have this darker green. No, it doesn't work. Okay, so what if I take... I think I'm gonna do the lower bottom gold. No, people say you should never mix gold with silver. Yeah, this gold line is fine. So then when this is dry, I can do the lines. Wait, I'll put it in my other prepared drying slate. Alien, the dress. I think that was this purple. Just gonna do a little bit of paint mixing. Best tool ever. Keep on saying it, can highly recommend. If you mix a lot of paint, such a little tool, amazing. And it was dirt cheap as well. I believe it was technically meant as a milk frother. And then they rebranded it as a paint mixer. Seems I missed a spot. Wait, for milk frother, then resin mixer, and now paint mixer. So soon it needs lining as well. It does froth your paint water as well. It's been a while since I had this paint. Should still need a little bit of there. Yeah, this soon can get some line art as well. And I need a tiny bit, so I'm just going to take it from here and put it in here. Now on the tray. First this one, because this one's pretty much ready for lining except these lines. So first gonna line. Don't worry about the eyes. Those will be done last. Well, didn't have to color the eyes. Is this an old one? Yes, this is still an old one. Already wondered why there were edges and less smoothness. Does need a second coat. That's okay. This dries quite quickly. At least now you get a feel for the end result. I wanted the ultramarine because my ultramarine paint is very smelly. It's quite heavy body. It's technically the acrylic paint that's left over from my high school, so that's about 25 years ago, give or take. I wanted to finish with an art degree, but I wasn't allowed because my grades with art weren't that great, because the argument was you cannot draw. That's just because the teacher had a bias for manga and anime, because that's not art. And if you can't paint landscapes, you can't do art. And I'm not exaggerating, that was his opinion. So yeah, we weren't the best buddies. I liked fantasy. He did not. Let's see, I think I can keep the Squirtle color for her eyes because her eyes are blue. It's a bit too baby blue technically, but considering I'm gonna mix more, at least we're getting a feel for the end result. Now, while this dries, I'm gonna look for my reference. This one. First of all, her skin tone. It's gonna be a mix. And it's gonna be a new mix, but first, let's see if we have colors that are close to it that I can reuse. Because some colors are quite a lot. And if I can reuse a few, because this is actually quite close already, it's just a bit too orange. I need yellow. And I need a little bit of white, my guess is. At least we're having a start here. Also have a lot of this one. Let's use this side, so I use less. And a dash of... Sorry about that. Let's see how far along we are with this one. It's a bit too orange still. It's a nice color, but too orange. That's probably way too much, but okay. And I have this stash of white paint. Just normal white paint that dries out in this cup way too fast. And this is pretty much the color. Just needs a little bit more white because it will dry darker. But it's a very nice color. Just a little bit of white. Oh, well, a little bit of white is always a lot of white. Scraping a bit from the side, because otherwise they're one day gonna fall in and then mix up the paint. And a shout out to Horsian. I'm using your old name on purpose. It was great meeting you again. You know, privacy, so I can't just throw around your new name so everyone knows it. So I'm using a very old name of yours. Nice, soft, warm yellow. I know yellow is warm as a whole, but there's a little hole in the sunset shimmer here. The red needs more coats as well. I thought the red was done, but no, that needs more coats as well. One day I'm going to find a nice place for all my blends, and then I'm going to put it in gradient rainbow order. Let's see. Mint green. Do I have a mint green? Should have it. I even have it in a bottle, so unmixed. It's technically a bit too dark. I think I'm going to try and make a jeans blue that's nicer to work with. Because I love this color, but the paint is shit. Okay, a little bit of this. A little bit of gray, because it's going to be a jeans. And a bit of my ultramarine. The thick goo. Technically, I think this should be enough. I pride myself in creating paint colors. I know this is a bit too light and a bit too blue. It needs to be. Someone said if you want to have it more muted, you could add a little bit of the contrast color. The contrast is orange. Yeah, there's the green I was searching for. Well, now it's going to be this green. Just a dab. And a bit more of the jeans. Okay. This is a bit more grayish, so that's good. This was a blackish. I will try to prevent having double colors mixed because, you know, that's a waste of a jar. It needs to be a little bit darker. But I don't want to make it blue. So I'm going to make a very dangerous choice. Just a little dab in here. Okay. I always hate exploding paint. Not just because it explodes and gets everywhere, but also it's a waste of paint. Good thing I'm wearing an apron today. I have a feeling I have this color somewhere already. And then the final part. I don't want to use the skin tone. Can use this one. Technically it's see-through, but yeah. Okay. So those are all the priority ones. So I'm going to take this outside to dry soon because I still have space for one more character on this tray. So I'm going to look at this one. This one just needs sides, so I can't put it with them. I'm going to do these wings. Okay, that's gonna probably explode, so let's use this one. Yep. After this, I'm gonna get a little break, hydration, because it's warm. So only 2 parts today, which is better than none. Some bubbles in here. Bit delayed response. If you don't agree with my color choices for the wings, don't worry, they will be online eventually. And some will be freebies. Can't even remember if I shook it, but that's okay. So remember, if you don't like the colors, just get the wings one day and then pick your own colors. You can make them the size you want. So if you have a doll, you can match the size. Don't recommend making them smaller, but you can make them bigger, of course. I'll be taking these outside, have a little break. And then I'll see you in a couple of minutes. My guess is about 10 minutes, more or less.